He screams because we're working on speech, in case you haven't noticed that. But go ahead and judge me all you want.
You know, it's funny you say that, because surprisingly, we have noticed quite a change in his speech since being in school. It's come a long way, wouldn't you say? I think that's just proving what we've said all along. You're more interested in live streaming than you are working with your child. But let's continue, because this next part, ooh, it's got me steaming.
Go ahead and judge me all you want. You already do. But before you judge, you might want to look at yourself and figure out if you're a good mother or if you're a good person before you come after me.
Okay, challenge is gladly accepted. Let's look at what I have created and who I have sent off into the world. Okay, Scabbie, this is my stepson and his beautiful wife and their dog. She's a pediatric nurse, and he has an excellent job in sales. They own a home in Arizona and a home in New Hampshire. This is my oldest biological son. He is in the Army, okay? This is just a collection of, this is my beautiful daughter-in-law, my grandson, my other grandson with my son, my two younger boys, my husband, myself. You know, this was at a family event that we didn't put on TikTok. Oh, look, here's an outing of us. We went out, we did some mining, and we didn't live stream it. Oh, perfect. My son and I out for a walk. Didn't live stream it. My adorable grandchildren. My two handsome guys. My handsome adult son feeding his son pop on Halloween. My three boys celebrating their birthdays. And this is just a variety. My father-in-law with my youngest grandson. The boys' 5th grade graduation. This was pictures from our last vacation as a family. Mind you, didn't live stream at all. And more pictures. This was my son when he was a baby, which his youngest looks just like him. But regardless, this was when my son was going on deployment. This was when he got home from deployment of a year. That was him while he was on deployment. Him all dressed up. You get the drift. And you want to talk about whether I've been a good person? You could just Google my name and these type of things pop up. Okay? There's tons of them pop up. Okay? So what were you saying? You see, I've been married almost 28 years, 30 years together. We own our own home. We own some really nice vehicles. Yes, we're struggling financially at the moment, but I don't come on TikTok and live stream my entire life and battle and whatnot, do all that stuff that you do to get more money. I have been sick all this year, and the first chance I got, I went out and worked as much as I could to make money. I don't have CPS in my life like you do. I'd be embarrassed if I were you. I'd be so scared shitless if I were you that they were going to take my children. But what do? First thing you do, you jump online, you laugh about it, and you pour yourself a nice shot of whiskey or whatever it was. See, I don't drink, so I don't know what it was. But you get the drift. So, again, thanks. I'm glad I got to look down memory lane of my life. Oh, and I have a college degree. That's right, I have a college degree in criminal justice and business. I owned my own businesses, two of them, and one failed, but one was a success. I only sold it because I had my 12-year-old and didn't know how I'd be able to run it. Shall I continue?
Listen, no one has to prove if I'm a good mom or not. Because I know I am. Aaron's a good father.
Yeah, I get it. I get the, processing the thought, quiet, walking away. Even you don't believe that yourself. Neither one of you are good parents. Aaron's not a good dad. Sorry. Because he would never allow the bullshit that you do on this app. And as far as being judged, as far as having to prove it, again, you do have to prove it to CPS. And why do you have to prove it? Because you can't put this app down. You can't walk away from it. You are addicted to TikTok, and TikTok runs your life. And that's why we all have the right to judge you, because you lay it all out there for us. And you think you're a good mom. I'm sorry, but when you allow your 3-year-old, first off, to even be out of your sight, next door at the neighbors at 3. My sons are 11 and 12, and nowadays, I wouldn't let them next door without me being there, unless I knew the parents super, super well, and they had been hanging out a long time. But that's not the case here. And you allowed your 3-year-old to control the narrative and say, no, I'm not coming. And you were okay with it. Hell, you even said, I'll just give him a protein shake, or whatever it was called. That's enough for him. And you think you're a good mom?
If you never had to deal with a special needs or an autistic child, you really shouldn't be speaking. Okay? You just shouldn't. It's not easy. And a lot of people think that when they scream and cry, understand this is just a spectrum. Okay? It's a spectrum. But if a mother gives what that child needs, that's all you have to do.
Okay, Scabbie, I feel like I have to school you on a lot of things. First off, you should never label your child as something that he has not been officially diagnosed with, autism, because that can actually hurt him in the long run. So until you get an official diagnosis, don't say that he's autistic. Second, you clearly don't know much about autism, because you said autism, it's a spectrum, and as long as I give him what he wants, then that's all he needs. You are so dead wrong. And you said, unless you have a special needs child, one with autism, you can't understand. Well, hello, I have one. And he is one of the most amazing kids you'll ever meet. Okay? He may do things differently, he may see things differently, he may even communicate differently, but he's as smart and loving and kind as anyone else, and he's amazing. Some of the signs, he lines up his toys. Even from a baby, he had to have his food separated. He has been diagnosed with autism. And believe me when I say, it's no flex. It's nothing I'm proud of. I'm proud of my son, and I love my son, and I wouldn't change anything about him. I wish he hadn't been diagnosed with autism, because things in life might come easier for him. But having said that, he is an amazing kid. And you are going to stunt your son's growth by continuing to label him having something that he doesn't. You clearly just don't get it. And like I said before, sadly, it's going to take CPS taking your son away from you before you wake up and realize. And I feel bad for Cameron on that. But you know what? Maybe he'll be in a better environment. One where his parents won't have their nose in the phone or in the TV constantly 24/7, completely ignoring their child and creating no childhood memories with them.